combining sports, music, and fashion. This is Fly Sports Talk with your host, Nelson Navarro.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's me, your host, Nelson Navarro, and welcome to Fly Sports Talk. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share, and let's make this thing, something big, right? Where do I start? There's been so much going on in the sports world that it's tough, just to pick one topic to start with. From NHL Four Nations face-off to the trade deadline in the NHL to everything that's going on in the NBA. But let's start off with, the controversial fight last night between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Last night, Tank Davis squared off against Lamont Roach in a bout that went the distance. But now here's where the controversy comes in. In the 9th round, after receiving a jab from Roach, Tank Davis took a knee and went to the bench or the corner and had to wipe his face. Later on after the fight, he said that he had just gotten his hair done, and because he was sweating and everything, the gel or the cream that he used, that they used to put in his hair, dripped down into his eyes, which I've had long hair before, so I get it, but I don't think that was an excuse. But anyways, he took a knee, and technically that's a knockdown. Now, if we go to the stats, right now, they ruled this fight a majority draw. So one judge scored the fight 115 to 113 in favor of Tank Davis, but the other two judges scored it a tie, 114 to 114. But now here's where some people will say that, including myself, Lamont Roach won this fight, which I honestly think that he did. There were 3 or fewer landed punches between them in 9 of the 12 rounds, even though Roach threw 121 more punches over the distance, right? So Roach won the battle of the jab, where he landed 25 jabs to Tank's 10. Okay, boom, there's one category. Now, Tank landed more power punches with 93 to Roach's 87, and a lot of people would argue that the power punch is where the more significant punches and scoring comes in. Okay, fine. But overall, Lamont Roach was the more bruiser fighter, with 112 total punches landed to Tank Davis's 103. So judging right there, I honestly think that Tank Davis won this. Not Tank Davis. Lamont Roach won this fight. You can't sit there and tell me that if I land more punches than you, that it was a tie, just because you landed more power punches than me. I don't think so. I landed more jabs than you, and I landed more punches overall than you did. But a lot of people would argue a tie as well. I don't know. To me personally, I feel like a tie just does a service to Tank, so he doesn't get that blemish on his record. He's still technically undefeated at 30-0 and 1 draw. So we'll see. There's definitely going to be a rematch between these two fighters. There's no way that they let this end in a majority draw and they don't have a rematch. There's definitely going to be a rematch, hopefully sooner than later, maybe at the end of the year. But we'll see. Leave me something in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Who won? Who lost? If a draw is justifiable. Like I said, I honestly think Lamont Roach should have won this fight. He was definitely landing the more combinations, I feel like. So we'll see. But now, I don't know if you guys remember, Shakir Stevenson fought Josh Padley last week, right? Now, a lot of people say, Shakir Stevenson deserves some type of respect. He's 23-0 now, this and this and that. But who has he fought? Josh Padley was notified 4 days before the fight and was literally a journeyman electrician. Now, don't get me wrong. Josh Padley is a really good fighter. Coming into the fight, he was 15-0, and he actually, landed some good punches on Shakir during that fight. But me personally, you need to fight. As far as Shakir is concerned, he needs to fight someone that has more under their belt. That's a tougher fighter. How about you fight Pitbull Cruz? Keyshawn Davis. Those guys. It's one thing to fight somebody who was literally an electrician 4 days before his fight, on 4 days of training, than to fight somebody that's established, that's been there. I mean, what else is there to say? Shakir's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. I believe that he's gonna have, a great career. But as far as right now, who have you fought that has, some significance? So we'll see. The fight that I really want Shakir to fight is Pitbull Cruz. Shakir has said that he'll, go up in weight to 135, 140 if the money's right. And I think that's a fight that everybody would want to see. Pitbull Cruz is an animal. He's a great fighter, fast, powerful. So we'll see, man. Now segueing over to basketball, the Lakers and the Mavs have, as we all know, have swapped Luka for AD. Now, since that trade, the Lakers are 7-2, including wins over the Denver Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks. In that game against the Dallas Mavericks, Luka scored himself a triple-double with 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. Now, to me, with the sole fact that Anthony Davis is hurt right now, and Jason Kidd literally just said yesterday he's still about a week out, that he's making great progress. That's not a direct quote, but he's making great progress, but he is still about a week out from returning. Now, when the Mavericks get back AD and their other big that they have, don't sleep on the Mavs. The Mavs are going to be a problem in the Western Conference. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Lakers definitely won the trade. And they're definitely a contender in the West right now. I think the Lakers should pick up another big just to have somebody like, as for depth, as stash, you know what I mean? Because right now, they don't really have any bigs outside of Hachimura. You know what I mean? But as long as they keep producing the way they are, with their three-headed monster that they have, some would argue in LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves. But we'll see. We'll see how they do come playoff time and in the long run. Now, I have a sleeper out in the West that a lot of people would agree with me that they have become a sleeper ever since making this trade, and that's the Golden State Warriors. So let that sink in for a little bit. The Golden State Warriors, since trading for Jimmy Butler, have been an absolute wagon. I mean, they're winning games. Steph scoring 56 points, making 12 three-pointers. I mean, it's insane. I honestly believe if they get in, which I truly think they are going to get in, they're going to be a problem. And people will say, oh, they don't have bigs, they don't have this, they don't have that. They've been doing it for years. Draymond Green has been a problem, has been a menace in the paint, in the playoffs, in the finals for a long time. And he's only 6'5". It's a lot. It's a lot to take in and to think about, but let's just think about it for a second. I honestly think that the Warriors will definitely be a contender out in the West, and I don't think anybody should sleep on them. As far as today, right now, the Boston Celtics are set to square off against the Denver Nuggets. Let's go Celtics. For those who know me, know I am a huge Celtics fan, right? So, yeah, so let's go. Let's go Celtics. They're about to get ready to play the Denver Nuggets right now. As we speak, as I'm recording, it's on the TV. Later on tonight, we have the Timberwolves versus the Suns at 9:30. Also at 9:30, we have the Lakers versus the Clippers. So I'm pretty sure everybody will be excited for that. As far as the MLB is concerned, everybody knows that spring training has started. Juan Soto in his first at bat as a Met smacked a home run. And I don't know if that's a coincidence to anybody, but does anybody remember his first at bat as a Yankee in the preseason? Does anybody remember what happened? Yeah, he also hit a home run in his first at bat as a Yankee, and they went to the World Series that year. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. It's crazy because, a lot of people would say that let's have a top 5 bullpen in the MLB. With re-signing Pete Alonso and getting the lineup right, they have one of the best lineups in the league with Juan Soto added. Like, what is there not to like about this baseball team? All right, granted, going into my next talk about the Mets, they have 3 injuries to their starting rotation. Now, what I personally think they should do, and Steve Cohen, I hope you're hearing me, please go re-sign Jose Quintana. Go re-sign Jose Quintana. He proved that he can pitch for you. He wants to come back and play for the Mets. Please go re-sign Jose Quintana and, add somebody to this rotation that can hold the fort until somebody comes back. Granted, it is early. Season hasn't even started yet. It's still in spring training, but still. I think you need to add some depth to your starting rotation. And Jose Quintana would definitely fill that need, in my opinion. Also, too, another move that I think the Mets should make, instead of signing players that are struggling to find the baseball, please, can we just re-sign Jose Iglesias? Jose Iglesias is proven to be a clutch player for us. He's proven to have a good glove and be a good defensive player. What are we waiting for? He's also another player that wants to come back and play for the Mets. He hasn't re-signed with anybody yet because he openly said that he's waiting for the Mets to give him a call and see what they're talking about. So please call him. Make that call. Make that phone call. Let's get this thing going. Let's get to the World Series. Let's do this. Also, too, Yankee fans, please don't be upset that we got Juan Soto. I know some of you guys are, but listen, you guys still really have a really good baseball team. And let me just shout out Jazz Chisholm real quick, because during the photo shoot, the team photo shoot before spring training started, he rocked this awesome Luffy Gear 5 one-piece chain. It was iced out. And I guess that's, let me talk about real quick. That's part of the fashion part of this show. We're going to point out things like pre-game outfits, Jazz Chisholm's chain that he wore for the team photo shoot, custom cleats that football players wear, custom sneakers that NBA players wear, stuff like that. So that's the fashion part of this show. But going back, to Jazz Chisholm's chain, I thought that chain was awesome. I thought it looked really nice. A lot of old school Yankee fans are probably so upset that he had that chain on. But it's 2025, guys. Let's get with the time. Speaking of that, 2025, the Yankees also lifted their beard policy. So now Yankees players can rock a full beard. It still has to be well kept and well shaven. So no, there will be no playoff beards going on in the Bronx. But I thought that was really cool. I thought that was something that was stupid, honestly. But it went with the tradition as being a Yankee, and I get it. So shouts out to them. I thought that was really cool. Now, segueing into the NHL. The NHL trade deadline is almost here, right? It's next week, March 7th. Now, there are a lot of things that the Devils need to do. Not really a lot. I think there are a few things that they should do or something that they can do to help this team, especially on the offensive side of the puck, right? Just the other night, Seth Jones, one of our targets, was traded, but there's other good players that we're looking at, and I know Fitzy's in the office. He's working his magic, making phone calls, doing what he's got to do, to get somebody in and have somebody, come in and do their thing. So there's 3 more players that the Devils are definitely looking at right now. One of them is Brad Marchand of the Boston Bruins. Right now, Brad Marchand has 26 goals, 27 assists. 21 goals, 26 assists for a total of 47 points, right? And he's definitely a difference maker at the forward position. I think he can definitely give this team a boost, definitely on the offensive side. He's a gritty player too. He's not afraid to hit anybody. He gets up in there. And also another player that I heard that the Devils are looking at is Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken. Jared McCann has 16 goals, 29 assists for a total of 44 points. So he's definitely can also produce on the offensive side of the puck. And he would definitely be a good fit over here in Jersey, I believe. Last but not least, the last one that we're looking at, I'm hearing, is Brock Besser of the Vancouver Canucks. Just recently, Brock Besser has had some talks with Vancouver, and they have haven't been seeing eye to eye, I should say, out there in Vancouver. But Brock Besser is another offensive producer at the right wing position. He's a good scorer, a good passer. He has 18 goals, 18 assists for a total of 36 points. So, there's a lot of things that the Devils could do. Honestly, anything that involves scoring outside of Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, and maybe Nico Hischier would be great, because they definitely need it. They definitely need it. They actually won last night against the Utah Hockey Club of a score of 3-1. It was a good game last night, but what we need though is more consistency. We need them to get more points, at least get to games. If you're not going to come away with 2 points, at least get games into overtime where you can come away with at least 1 point, because going down the stretch now, every single point counts, every single one. And Columbus and Detroit, they are on our heels. Let me tell you guys, it's not. We're in 3rd place right now. The next step for us is top place in the wild card, but I honestly do not want that. I need at least a home playoff series for the Devils. But I don't know. That's looking very scarce right now in the moment. So we'll see what happens with them. We'll see what's going on. It's also a thing where, can the Devils just go away from their identity right now? What their identity right now is, once they get hit, it's been the same thing. Once they get hit, it's over. If they go down first, it's very tough for them to come back and get out of sticky situations. So, we'll see what happens. Also, another thing too, keep an eye on Mikko Rantanen, because I think he should get dealt. The Hurricanes would be crazy if he doesn't sign with them and to not deal him at the trade deadline. So keep an eye on that. Guys, I want to thank you guys so much for coming, so much for listening. This has been an experience for me. This has been great. You know, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time by myself. And for me to actually do it, I really appreciate everyone that helped me and put in a hand and for me to get here. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Denzel, shout out to Y Beats, shout out to Kim, teaching me how to design and all that stuff. So it's kind of a dream come true for me to get here, but we still have a long way to go. So this has been Fly Sports Talk. I am your host, Nelson Navarro. Thank you for taking this time with me. Everyone have a good day.